Right, so we are now on step 6, and step 6 we are going to need some more components from the components bag. We're going to need ultimately these BA2s, the 3x8mm machine screws. We're going to need 2 of those, 2 of the BA3s, which are the 3x6 machine screws. We're going to need this little guy here, a 3x3 grub screw. We're going to need the little spacers, the 3x0.5 of a mil spacer, pinion gear. We are going to need the cover, which is the cover here, B6. We need that, and we're also going to need our motor, and we need to pop them onto the gearbox that we made. So yeah, just to show you, there we are. There's the difference between those screws. There you are, and the spacers, and you'll see here, if I can just focus it a little bit more, see if we can get you to focus, you'll see that I've put the grub screw inside there. Look, I've put the grub screw ready so I don't lose it. So as you know, I'm not using the stock motor. We're going to use a new motor, as you remember. Yeah, that is going to be my sports tuned motor. So we're going to make this a little bit more quicker and see how it goes. All right, so I'll show you how this bit is all done, and we'll put this all together. All right, there we are. That's going to be step 6 coming up. Right, so continuing with step 6, we need to make sure that we get the motor put into the front gearbox housing. So we need to get that through here. We need to then have the pinion gear correctly located and correctly out to see. So you can see here, if I just put it straight on, it might want to be a little bit of adjustment here. So so what I'm going to do is screw the motor in dry without putting any locked thread on the screws for the moment, and then adjust this pinion gear so it sits nicely on the actual spur gear. And then once we've done that, we know where the pinion gear should sit. We'll then put this in, so adjust the mesh. So we've got 2 stages to do here. We've got to make sure that the pinion is in the right position in relation to the spur gear, and we need to then make sure that the motor is then in the right position for the correct mesh and correct place. So 2 steps here, okay, and then we'll put the cover on. Okay, so here we go. So let's put the motor in just dry for the moment so we can get it somewhere near. So just, you don't have to go too mad here, just using the 3x10mm screws with the washer on there, just so you get everything in the right place. And we're going to pop that into there, catch a few threads, and we're going to pop that down. There we go. And we don't need to go too mad here. We just want to hold the motor in place so we know where it is. Okay, so there we are. So that's there. And what we can do is just back it off just a couple of turns like that, so that we can move the motor. Okay, so now we need to pop the pinion gear in. So we need to pop the pinion gear in. You can see I've already put the little grub screw in ready, and I just want to get that right. So we'll worry about doing the right mesh. So let's see if we can get this so it see if I can get this on camera, so it looks like it's nicely meshed in the right position. So, you know, that's about, yeah, I think that's about right. There we go. I think that's about right. Sort of, kind of, you can sort of see if I let it drop, it just dropped a little bit below, which means you put more wear. You want to bring it out so this actually is even and it's level. So there we are. So you sort of see it's like that. Okay. All right, so we're going to now put a thread lock on and lock that in position. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little thread lock on. So here's my little grub screw on the end of my, I don't know if you can see it, it's on the end of my little driver. We just want to squeeze. Okay, don't need a great deal, just enough to lock it in. Okay, so now we're going to screw this back in to the pinion, like so. We need to make sure that it's on the flat area, so we need to grab the pinion around. So I'm just going to make sure it's on the flat correctly. There we are, on the flat. And now that the pinion is on the right flat, now I'm just going to back it off just ever so gently and move this pinion gear into position so it lines up. Just nip it up, just to get it and just double check it, and we're looking to see that that's nicely in line, which I think that is. Looks nicely in line to me. Hopefully the camera can pick that out. Okay, so now we've got it nicely in line. I'm happy with that. Just nip that up. The thread lock will now do the rest. Okay, so now we've done that step, we can now do the adjustment of the motor itself. So in preparation for this, again, we're going to take some of our locking solution, our thread lock, put a little bit of thread lock on the screw and reattach this back into the motor so it's ready. Don't want a lot, just a little bit. I like to make sure that the motor doesn't come loose. Okay, so that's one of the screws with a bit of thread lock on, and I'll take this one out and put a bit of thread lock on it, and then we can adjust the mesh correctly. So again, thread lock on there, like that. Bring your motor back up, just line up the holes. I do like the way Tamiya have done this. You can actually line this up nice and easy. Some of the motors you're trying to fight to get it in. So now we've got the screws in and the threaded lock on there. We can just nip them up just so ever so gently, and then we'll wait. So the way I get my gap is I literally put a piece of paper in between and bring the motor so it's down and in between, like that. Matter of fact, I think the paper's quite thin actually, so what I might do is I might double that over and see what it feels like. It's quite thin. You can use a thick piece of paper, but just double that over. Put the paper in between, pinion and spur, push it together until it meshes. There you go. And then nip those up. And then you should be able to. There you go. Yeah, just enough in there, look. And there you go. Nicely meshed, should work well. You just feel a little bit, yeah, so a little bit of a paper trick. Get a little, there you go, done. So that's the motor now in and ready. Just put the cap. And now that the motor is in place, you literally get your cap, place it the right way around. And that goes over the top like that. Get your smaller of the 3mm screws, so the 3x6s. Pop that into there, like so. And same again here at the top. And that be technically finished. There we are. This one goes into plastic, so just be careful when you're screwing that in, like so. Don't have to go too mad on that one, just again nip up, and this one into the metal, done. There you go. There we are. So now your motor is mounted onto the front gearbox. So that's step 6 is now completed.